Welcome to the Eli Show. I'm your host, Eli Tanner. And yes, LeBron James has not made a decision yet. And yes, Messi did lose in the World Cup. And yes, the NFL is about to begin and college football just in a few weeks. All on the Eli Show. I'm your host, Eli Tanner. And man, I'm dressed nice because I'm just waiting for LeBron James to decide, I might say, on which team he's going to. And when he does decide, might as well be there for his first press conference. I'm kidding in a way, but I'll tell you this. We're all sitting on the edge of our seats. I mean, it's been 3 weeks since, he's, said goodbye to the Lakers and said he's moving on. And what teams he's going to go to, I don't know. But I tell you what, the World Cup final, it was sad to see Messi lose. It was sad to see, a lot of players last games. And, that it was sad and yet exciting still to see a young player get his first trophy and his little brother out there. That was so exciting. And a lot more in the Eli Show. But I'm your host, and let's get started. And, I have to start with the World Cup final. Had the highest viewership in America in a World Cup. And, it was a bit of a boring game, you might say. Spain played offensive the whole time. And here's the thing. When a team just plays offensive and then you have a good goalie too, it's going to be a boring game. It wasn't really back and forth the whole game at all. And then Argentina thought they could bully their way to a win at some point, and it backfired to them getting the red card. And if you didn't see the game, I'll just describe it to you. Spain would attack, good stop by the goalie, corner kick, something would happen. Argentina will kick it out, and they would have almost no offense, and Spain will get it right back. And then, it was like that the whole game, and pushed it to extra time, and then got the red card. Actually, before extra time, there was a big red card, and, it was a 10-11. And then extra time, you can tell who was dominant again, and it just came down to a good play. Goalie could not stop it. I think the MVP for Argentina had to be the goalie, not Messi. No, Messi got barely any touches. He didn't even get a shot, I don't think. And you talk about a great, and sometimes the greats lose, right? We see LeBron James lose. We've seen Tom Brady lose. Just talking about some of that at that level. We've seen Scottie Scheffler lose. We've seen some rough times for Tiger Woods. So, losing does not mean they're not great, And when you get the conversation of Messi, Ronaldo, I just want to point this up, the stat that Ronaldo, he's all great, He's like that really good quarterback like Lamar Jackson or like a Josh Allen. Great in the regular season, great in club play. But when it gets down to the making the Super Bowl and winning a Super Bowl, Ronaldo can't do that, and Josh Allen can't do it. I'm just saying, and Ronaldo is not going to get another chance because he's 41 years old, and Josh Allen, he's got a few more years, but he's 30 now. So when I'm comparing the two, I look at this. Hey, clock's ticking for Josh Allen, clock's gone for Ronaldo, and then there's players ahead of him. Some might say Patrick Mahomes. What, he's been in the Super Bowl 4 of the past 6 years, it seems. I might get that stat a bit wrong. And then you have Ronaldo, who, he can't seem to make it past even the quarterfinals. Never made it to a FIFA World Cup final. Messi has. Messi's almost went back-to-back. 1 point away from going back-to-back. So when you compare the two, it's I think it's close. Josh Allen and Ronaldo. Yes, they both have they've been great players. And they have been on okay teams. Portugal they haven't had the talent, they haven't had the depth. And sometimes you might say that for the Bills. But Bills fans, there's still hope. Portugal fans, find a new star. So, also on Saturday, we saw one of the best games of the World Cup, I might say. 6-4 is the final score. France, England, a disappointing game for France. But here's the point if you didn't see Mbappe won the Golden Boot, and then Mbappe now has the most goals scored in a World Cup game. And here's the controversy. First of all, the game meant nothing. His team lost, and yet he still won the Golden Boot. And then you look at it, and then I see this, and then I see that Messi lost in the final, a more competitive game, 1-0. England practically but 4 goals, 6-4 was the score. It was 4-0. England came out the second half, really didn't want to play, it seemed, and then they just let him get the goals. I think the game, the third place game, the silver medal, whatever you call it, it's a good game. It was really exciting to watch, better than the final. But your stats should not count. Your stats should not count on a game that means nothing. When another team just stops playing, you stop the stats. And in sports, it can happen a lot, It can happen in bowl games sometimes. And then you're like, oh, wow, look at this. When half of your starters aren't even playing or on the field, I don't think the stats should count. I get it's still the game. It's still soccer. It's still challenging. But, when I look at it, I think it was a good game to watch for the fans. Not as much for, real fans that want to see an actual game played well. But I like the game, and I think they should keep it, but take the stats away. I think Messi deserved the Golden Boot. And, but maybe Messi's going to come back. I don't think so. Other people are saying he might. We'll never know. But let's move on to the NBA and, a big talking point. I'm getting tired of it. I'm not going to talk about this too much, but LeBron James and what he's doing, and I think it's stupid in my own opinion. Why? Why are we doing such a thing like this? LeBron James, if you're listening, just make a decision. Don't get all the attention. Don't be dramatic. Get it done. We want to know, and we're not going to sit around any longer. The NFL is about to begin, so LeBron James, just say who you're going to. Okay? Just say it. Yeah, that was just a message straight to LeBron James right there. He's going to get it later, watching it on a YouTube short. But I'll tell you what. If LeBron James goes to Golden State, it'll be for the fun. If he goes to the Cavs, it'll be for the memory and mostly to bring back that feeling again. Now, there's 2 other teams. Miami, there could be a chance there could be a playoff team and, a contender. And then you go to Philadelphia and, those things are adding up. If you look at it in a way of basketball play only, Philadelphia is the best choice. But then you have the other side, the personal side, the locker room side. No, I've never been into an NBA locker room. But I'll tell you what, I don't think the locker room's gonna be good in Philadelphia. I think there's gonna be too much pushing around, too much competitive guys. If you make the NBA, you're competitive. But LeBron to Philly, I just don't feel it. The city itself, I feel like it's not LeBron. LA, yes. Miami, yes. Cleveland, yes. San Francisco, yes. I don't think Philadelphia is a right fit when it comes to locker room stuff. Maybe basketball, but in the end, I don't think it's going to work out. I think he's going to. Sorry, I think it's going to go to. I think he's going to go to Cleveland in the Cavs, and I think the reason for it has to be because of that, because of being there and starting there, and then the team's not bad at all. And I think that would be a great combo. I think Golden State, though, would be fantastic. Will they make the NBA Finals? No. Will it be fun to watch? Yes. So, personally, I would choose Golden State, but I think it's going to choose Cleveland or Miami. I just think the 76ers are... And I think they're off the table. I don't see LeBron James going to Philadelphia. I see Rocky going to Philadelphia. I see Embiid going to Philadelphia. No. Jaylen Brown. LeBron James. GOAT talks. No, I don't think so. And that's the end of the story. He's going to push this so far. College football would already be starting, and then his thing would be less attention. So I think he's just playing this off too long, and I agree with Adam Silver. And I think we got to get it on. We got to get the schedules in. But, it's LeBron James, not me. So, I can't say anything. Now let's talk some NBA. And I was thinking about this. I was thinking, what is the best team? NFL. I meant to say NFL. What is the best team in the NFL? I have my own opinion. I think you look at it, and you look at last year too. You look at the teams. Seattle. Super Bowl winning Seattle last year. Will they win another Super Bowl? I don't know. LA is looking pretty good. But I'll tell you what. I've never, in my 15 years of life, I've never seen it when a Super Bowl team wins and it's not talked about it at all, it feels like. All summer. Almost no one has talked about, Seattle and what they can really do. I think they have the right players. They have the right coaching. They're going to be a good team. I think they're going to be competitive. I think them and, I know I don't like Josh Allen. I think the Bills are going to have a good regular season. I think AFC championship, I think they're going to lose in it. I don't know who. The Ravens? Maybe. Jacksonville? I think we're going to be good. Jacksonville, that's my team with Trevor Lawrence. Good. That level? No. Chiefs, maybe? I mean, I'm looking at the AFC side, and I think it's going to be a tight one. And NFC side, it's a little odd. I feel like a lot of teams are even in the NFC and in the AFC. You don't see that as much, and you don't see things clicking as well, and you don't see a lot of different types of play. A lot of new play callers across the whole league. So it's going to be an interesting NFL season. I don't think there's going to be one dominant team. I don't think there's going to be one Super Bowl team from week 1 or week 2 or even week 18. I think we'll see it throughout the playoffs. I think it's going to matter how everything plays out, and coaching is going to play a big part. But I don't have a real possibility. The Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. I don't know if that's going to work. Maybe Bills, Chiefs, AFC title game, and will the Bills finally get a win? Maybe with their luck. I respect Josh Allen if he can make a Super Bowl. Respect. And I'll say it's good. And I'll talk great about him if he wins a Super Bowl. But I said this last year, and I'll say it again. If he doesn't win one right here, he's just... I don't know if he ever will. That was his chance last year, and we'll see this year and everything that's happening. Quick MLB talk. The Red Sox, their streak is over at 15 games. What a streak. It talks about the MLB. I've said this before. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. It's not, how you go into it, it's how you come out of it. And I think definitely going into October, it's going to be huge when it comes down to MLB play and all that. And we'll see coming into October who's the best team out there. Braves, a little off. Philadelphia, coming off of a bad series to LA. They got a few wins in there, but terrible base running and not knowing how to play. But let's get to something a little personal. I was thinking about this. What's most important in life? And people, people might not say it, but a lot of people think money. A lot of people think family. Some people even think sports, fame. And I'll tell you what, the most important thing in my life, and it should be in yours, is Jesus Christ. Why not now? That's a question of, I'll do it later. What if you don't have later? Just be honest. What if you're like Kyle Busch? No offense to him, but dying unexpectedly. So I'll tell you this. Think about this. If you haven't heard, you've heard of the Bible. It's a great book. Most sold book in the whole entire world. Yeah, it's crazy and many people watching this probably do know him, but if you don't, It's time. You never know when the end is. It's the Eli Show. I'm your host, Eli Tanner. Adios, amigos.